Shakedown Hawaii is the spiritual sequel to Retro City Rampage, an 8-bit take on video game culture and homages to many classic games done in the style of GTA. With Shakedown here, what we get is a more focused title, but I don't think it's as interesting. The story is that we play the head of Feeble Inc. in Hawaii. It is the 1980s where cell phones, touch displays, and the internet is alive and well. And his company is failing. So to come back on top, he will do every underhanded trick, evil enterprise, you name it, to earn that millions and millions of dollars. Along for the ride is his son, as well as another associate who's kind of his hired muscle. The gameplay itself is played entirely top-down style, as you can see, and you run through missions with the main goal to take over Hawaii one business enterprise at a time. Now, from what I've played of the game so far, your objectives are tied to kind of your wealth or your assets on the island, or I guess loosely based on the island. While you go around, you'll be able to perform missions that can either unlock new properties to buy, enhance properties, or unlock new options to enhance what you have. And missions will be locked based on your ownership and what you have in terms of value. But the missions themselves basically are on the simplistic side. You have a kind of a collection of missions that are based around shaking down the various businesses, and then you have the more story-driven plots that usually involve you going to some place and either killing everything or destroying everything. And that is about it. The big, I guess, twist or unique element of Shakedown compared to Retro City is that the video game cliches have been replaced with as many, I guess, damning elements behind commercialism, the video game industry, not video games, but the industry itself, and just the idea of capitalism. You'll be doing everything from shortchanging bottles, dealing with manipulations of loot boxes, and everybody has something to say about just how much commercialized things have gotten, and its impact on quality. And the game is definitely more focused about, I think, making a statement, or loosely making a statement, rather than the gameplay itself, for better or worse. And what that means is there really isn't a lot for me to talk about from a gameplay standpoint. And that's kind of a shame, as the other core gameplay, or the other gameplay loop of Shakedown, the managing and taking over the island, has some merit to it, but I don't think it's explored as well as I would have liked. And we're going to talk about that next, after a quick word to our Patreon sponsors and supporters. And now for a quick thank you to our Patreon supporters and current Game Wisdom sponsors. If you would like to continue this discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. The one gameplay loop I was really excited about was this whole idea of taking over the island one property at a time. How it works is you have money coming in. There is a day-night cycle in Shakedown, and every day you earn money based on the amount of real estate and holdings that you have. And as we said in the last part, there are missions that are tied to owning a certain number or certain kind of property. And you can also enhance this by adding modifiers such as gift cards, clickbait ads, and so on. It's a really great idea, but the problem is that the game doesn't really do anything with it. It's also very hard to make use of this UI, because as you can see, all those yellow buildings are properties that I own, but there's no easy way to tell how much they're actually bringing without going over them one at a time or doing a category list. And the gameplay itself is just non-existent. All you're doing, you can just apply all the modifiers to whoever properties are bringing you the most money, and there's no greater impact or even gameplay implications going forward. At most, you can buy upgrades to your character, but I found they just weren't needed in this game. The basic gameplay is just on the easier side, very easy I should say, compared to Retro City Rampage. But I was really hoping for more of this idea of you actually building an empire and seeing that impact the world around you. But it's just not here. And it really is a shame that that happened, because there was definitely a hook, I feel, for having you go around the world here, completing missions, and then having that impact your empire and vice versa. But it kind of seems like with Shakedown Hawaii, while the gameplay is definitely more refined than was in Retro City, it loses, I feel, a lot of the heart or variety of content. And while I kept playing to see how things were going, it never got to that point where I felt like all these systems were interacting with each other. I was really expecting at some area of the game that the Empire or the management system will become greater integrated into the mission structure or exploring the island. And it just never came to be. And at the time of this recording, the game estimated I was about, I think, 80% done the mission structure. So if anything was going to happen, it is probably far too late. And in the end, Shakedown Hawaii, I think from a gameplay perspective, is more refined than Retro City, but it's not hooking me as much. There's nothing here I would say I hated or is bad about this game, but there's nothing here that's making me really fall in love with it as well. Not even the 80s synth and constant weird cutscenes did, unfortunately. But with that said, we're going to wrap it up here for this first look. So, if you were a fan of Retro City Rampage, or looking for just a kind of a basic top-down GTA-esque game, I would say give this one a look. But if you were hoping for the developer to grow or iterate on the design of the first game, this does feel like a step back, sadly. But with that said, thank you so much for tuning in. I would like to thank the developer for giving me a press key to check this one out. If you'd like for me to look at your game in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But check back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Until next time, take care. If you're looking for a book on design, my first title, 20 Essential Games to Study, is out now. It is available where most books are sold, and it comes in paper, hardcover, or digital copies. This is the perfect book for anyone interested in learning about game design, whether you are a student, enthusiast, or just a fan. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoy things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.